young girls entertain boys and experiment with sex. Isolated from Greater Cambodia and the world, the Kriang are notoriously shy people. But Nan Chang and her 15-year-old sister, Nang Wan, have agreed to talk about their mating rituals and traditions.
I've had a few boyfriends, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. I'm not sure of the amount. Girls can have lots of boys before they marry.
Nang Chang has been entertaining boys in her hut for 2 years.
Having a hut is good because it means you can spend time with boys. The girl can find out how good or bad he is. If he's bad, she can decide, no, I don't want you.
Nang Wan's had her hut since she was 13.
I asked my parents to build me a hut because I didn't want to sleep in the big house with them. I didn't want to be noisy and disturb them.
According to Kriang tradition, the girl's own father builds the hut for her.
It gives great freedom to the girls when they have their own house to sleep in, and it's polite for them to have their own house to socialize in at nighttime. Because my wife and I work very hard during the day, so we need to sleep. I built a hut for them because young girls and boys, they like to talk to each other during the night, and that can be annoying for me.
But talking is often a polite euphemism for sex.
There's a lot of talk about talking. Both the parents and the girls say the huts give the girls a chance to spend time with their friends and to talk without disturbing their parents.
Journalist Fiona McGregor has spent many months living in Kriang villages and studying their traditions.
Once you spend a little more time with the Kriang girls, you realise there's a lot more goes on in there than just talking. Some of the girls that were well known amongst the local boys for being accommodating in their love huts, they would have several different boys coming to stay with them during the week. I'm not sure they're physically intimate with all of them, but they might well have 3 different boys on the go at one time.
Teenagers everywhere seek their own space away from prying eyes, but it's rare that they get active encouragement from parents.
Most people in the West would regard it as extremely strange to actually build a hut to enable our teenagers to go and have sex. And I think that we would regard that as a taboo.
Love huts in Cambodia can be perceived as being taboo because we look at parents as protectors and safeguarders of a woman's virginity or sexuality, not promoters of it.
During the day, Kriang girls and boys keep their distance. But after dark, they get together. They're being seen innocent and childlike. But as the fire burns low, the atmosphere heats up. Nang Wan heads back to her hut, while Nang Chang waits for a visit.
When you have a boyfriend over to visit, you don't talk loudly or joke around too much, or your parents will know the boy is there.
Kriang girls try to be discreet, even though sex before marriage is not taboo. And according to the girls, it's their choice, not the boys'.
If I want to sleep with a boy, I'll ask about his background. If he's a lazy boy or a bad boy, then I won't invite him. If he is a good, handsome, industrious boy, then I might decide to sleep with him.
Some observers believe the love huts give the girls control and independence.
I think one of the advantages of the love hut custom is giving such great empowerment to young women and letting them explore their own sexuality, but also their own, I think, decision-making and judgment around who to mate with and who to have as a partner.
While there's no hard data, it seems this empowerment of young girls, namely rape and domestic violence, are relatively rare.
I've never heard of this kind of action, forcing the girl to have sex. When a girl says no, the boy won't try and do it.
Before the rest of the village awakes, boys leave the love huts and head home. Only when a couple is engaged will they be seen together in daylight. 15-year-old Nangwan reveals that the boy she spent the night with is now her fiancé.
I met my fiancé when he came to visit me in my hut. Before that, boys had stayed with me, but I didn't sleep the whole night with them. The thing I like most about my fiancé is he's very handsome. He's also an industrious person and does good things.
The hut that Nangwan's father built has paid dividends. In Kriyan culture, a husband is an economic necessity, as Nangwan's mother knows well.
It's important to have a husband because we need the husband to build the house we live in, and to work on the farm, and to do the heavy things that men have to do.
For outsiders, the love huts can seem taboo, but it's a tradition that's passed from generation to generation.
It was an opportunity for me to be in contact with my wife and fall in love with her.
I met my husband when he came to me at night and spoke sweet words to me, and I fell in love. We married and had children, and are still in love today.
But things are changing in Ratanakiri province. Modern influences like smartphones, television, and pornography are having an impact.
I can tell from the action of a boy if he has seen these bad pictures. He's not doing polite things, and the boy changes, gets in a bad mood.
And while the Kriyan youth seek out love, the huts don't always mean a happy ending.
The boy I have fallen in love with has been visiting me for a year. The problem is, he lives in a different village, which is too far for me to travel back and forth, so my parents don't want me to marry him. But our parents don't agree. Sometimes we kill ourselves because of our love for each other. My parents might agree because they don't want the problem of a girl and boy killing themselves for love.
As well as heartbreak, love hut romances can end up in unwanted pregnancies, despite the supply of condoms by non-governmental organizations.
The love hut tradition can be good for the culture and bad. Sometimes if a really bad boy comes to visit, a daughter will get pregnant before she's married.
If a girl does get pregnant and the father doesn't want to marry her, I've heard of three quite different scenarios. The first is that if there's another man who loves her, he will marry her anyway and bring the baby up as his own. Second situation is often the girls will find another boy and start sleeping with him and tell him that he's the father. But there's a third situation. Other men won't want to have anything to do with her now, and she can often be left on her own. But people have told me that's quite a modern phenomenon.
Kriyan traditions are being eroded, but the love huts continue to be built. Young Kriyan girls experience a sexual freedom unknown to most teenagers. Some believe there are lessons to be learned.
The philosophy of empowerment and education that the love huts bring to young women is a philosophy